right-handed bat. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left. Andrews is back. She's under it. Andrews catches it. The ball game is over. The Tigers win. And for the third straight year, they're going back to Oklahoma City. And LSU survives, and it is back to back to back to Oklahoma City.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar. I'm Tommy Krysan along with Jordy Holtberg. We heard the call of Patrick Wright. A big week for LSU sports.
Wow,
We'll lead
baseball
off with softball, going to the College World Series up in Oklahoma City, as Patrick said, for the third year in a row.
I think if you looked, Joe Oliva's best hire yet. Still to be determined with Orgeron, Will Wade, but to date, just tremendous job that Beth Torina's done. And remember, they had the Alabama guy in, and he took the job and left like in a day or two. They had to scramble, got her in, and she's been terrific. Terrific.
She's been fabulous, and a great job by the Lady Tigers. They'll be in Oklahoma City, which that is to softball what Omaha is to baseball. They'll play at 1:30 Thursday afternoon on the main platform of ESPN against the UCLA Bruins from the Pac-12. So should be very interesting. And one thing of note, they go to Tallahassee for the Super Regional. Florida State had not lost a game at home all year. And then LSU loses game one.
That's right.
In the best of three series, and then wins Saturday and Sunday. We saw the dog pile after the 6-4 win on Sunday. A great story. A team that went 500 during league play, but similar to the baseball team, and we'll get to that, kicked it in when it mattered most.
I think if you really sat down and put the lie detector test on Beth Torina, she would say, I thought we would have a better record this year, because they brought a lot of people back. They had those two starters in the circle.
And Bailey Landry.
And so I thought, they thought they would be a little bit better. But, hey, all that's out the window now. Now it's a brand-new season. They're in. They're one of 8 teams still remaining. So third straight year, job well done.
And also on the weekend, LSU, Coach Paul Mainieri, 9 times he's been in the SEC tournament. He's won it 6 times. There were 2 years when the Tigers did not qualify. But what a run through the SEC tournament. Pitching.
Hitting, put it all together. 2 run-ruled games where they scored double digits. I think they're starting 4 starting pitchers, went 25 and 2/3 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, like 19 strikeouts. They were just phenomenal. They got the offense gave them leads, and they were just terrific. Terrific.
Yeah, so wonderful story there. And, of course, you got the Baton Rouge Regional. Question for you, why won't they call it the LSU Regional? It's Baton Rouge Regional.
I don't know.
Or like out Oregon State, it's the Corvallis Regional, not Oregon State. I guess they have a reason. But the Baton Rouge Regional, somewhat of a rerun from last year. Texas Southern replaces Utah Valley State. Other than that, LSU's in there as the 1 seed. We flipped seeding numbers. Southeastern, Matt Reiser's team gets their highest seeding ever. They're the 2 seed, the Rice Owls, and 81-year-old Coach Wayne Graham, the 3 seed. Play scheduled to get underway at 2:30 on Friday. LSU versus Texas Southern, who got hot and won the SWAC tournament, which was played in New Orleans at Wesley Barrow Stadium a couple weeks ago. And it's not a good club. They're one of 2 teams in the tournament with a less than 500 record. They're just not good. Southern, 4-2 against Texas Southern this year. And with all due respect to Roger Kadar, Southern didn't have their best year by any stretch either. Weather could be an issue this weekend. We ask you to just make sure you get info from LSU on social media or wherever if there's going to be any types of changes. All 4 teams will work out Thursday, beginning at 10 o'clock. They'll go in the order of the seedings: LSU, Southeastern, Rice, Texas Southern. And those workouts are open to the public, again, all depending on the weather.
I finally found out. I was always curious who determines when you play in the opening day. And Paul Mainieri said the host team gets to determine that, and he likes to go early simply for the fact he doesn't want to wait in case there are any delays, wait for that second game. He wants to get the game underway, out of the way, because he feels pretty good being the number 1 seed against a 4 seed. He wants to go away. Let me ask you this question. I understand Lang's not going to pitch on Friday. He'll wait till Saturday. Eric Walker can't pitch because he just pitched late, pitched like 125 pitches, so to speak. Do you Do you go with a Gilbert or a Peterson, or do you pitch Poche game 1, Lane game 2? Because, as Paul Mainieri told me, the big conundrum is, what if LSU gets through this weekend unscathed, Walker doesn't pitch? What if they get to the Super Regional and they're fortunate enough to win 2 games in a row with Lang and Poche, Walker doesn't pitch? Now you go into the College World Series, and Walker hadn't pitched in 3 weeks. I think that's the major conundrum that he's facing as to who to start, when to start him, and how to start him.
Yeah, and it's part of why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
He's got to come up with it, and I think he'll throw Gilbert or Peterson or maybe Hess against Texas Southern. Okay, I really think he'll do that. He's not going to throw Lang. He's not going to throw Poche.
Don't be surprised if Poche goes.
With all due respect, I just don't see that happening. Because while you have to manage the whole weekend and you want to manage the next weekend and Omaha, you better focus on what's right in front of you and go from there. And if you got to, if Walker goes 2 weeks without throwing, you got to go live inter squad or something and let him throw. I know it's not the same, but you may have to do that. And again, I think you worry about that later, in my opinion.
They could throw you today, and beat Texas Southern. I'm just going to tell you that right here, right now.
You're being kind.
They can throw you today.
I could throw a handful of pitches and then I'd be done.
Roger Cater told me, he said he's played them 6 times, like you said. He said, where's the hitting going to come from? Because they hit like 230 for
all
the year.
All they do is steal bases.
That's all they do. They have no pitching, 8+ ERA. And if you get on base, they stole like 104 bases.
Papierski will throw them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now here's the other thing. I know years ago when the regional stuff was different, you had 6 teams, whatever. Skip Bertman used to like to play the early game on Friday, and he was thinking money because he knew the LSU fans would show up no matter what time they played. And then we'll use this weekend for an example. He knows the LSU fans will be there at 2:30 Friday. School's out. Yeah. People will take a day off of work or a half a day off of work. Whatever they got to do, they're going to be there. And then you end up with a good crowd at night for Southeastern and Rice. Whereas if you put Southeastern and Rice at 2:30,
empty.
Maybe you don't sell as many tickets and as many concessions and all of that. But Coach Mainieri, I read it too, and I know you spoke to him. He wanted to go first, get the thing in, and I think he would have done that even if the weather forecast was not looming. I think he would have still done that.
I concur. He wants to get that first game underway. What if the game goes extra innings? And now you're sitting and you're waiting. Get it. Be the first one out the block. Boom. Set the stage and move on.
Plus, he can. If things go well and they're up 8 runs or they're up 10 runs, you can get some other guys to eat a few innings.
Is there a run rule in regional?
That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to. Obviously, there was one in the SEC tournament.
I bet there isn't.
Oh, I'm going to have to get the answer to that. I really don't know the answer to that. So we have a lot of softball and baseball to cover tonight. And then, of course, the annual spring meetings, they call them, even though it's the end of May. The SEC down in Destin to find out how much money they get from TV. And lots of topics flying around.
Very much so.
And some are significant topics.
Lots of talks in the football coaches' rooms with a lot of stuff, with recruiting and who you can hire, who you can't hire, and all these satellite camps, all that kind of stuff.
The graduate transfer rule, which SEC has something in place that other Power 5 conferences
Quit
don't.
Complaining,
so
coaches.
Is it a disadvantage?
Quit complaining. You're making more money. Quit complaining. I'm convinced coaches are creatures of habit. They know what they're going to do Monday. They know what they're going to do Tuesday. For the entire year. When you throw when that fork in the road goes left instead of right, they panic. They don't know how to handle it. Come on, deal with it.
Early signing period.
If they take money from you, then you can raise Cain. But 2 signing periods. Come on, you're going to get it done in December. That means February is going to be easy. Get it over with.
Well, and again, I think if they let that play out for a couple of years, you made this comment to me earlier before the cameras rolled, they're probably going to like it after a period of time. It's like a lot of things. Humans are against change. You are, I am, everybody watching this. But if you let time go by, sometimes you find out it was a change for the good. Yep. And if you find out it's a change for the bad, then correct it. Readjust, remap it out or something like that. Right. Also, Jordy, this week the NBA Finals are finally here. The month of June is upon us on Thursday. Wow. And it's a rerun. 3 years in a row, Golden State, Cleveland. We'll get into it more later in the program, but your early thoughts on the matchup.
Great matchup. I've been looking forward to it. I anticipated this. I think everybody that follows basketball was hoping for this, and we got it. So I think it's going to be fabulous, and we'll see what kind of changes or how Cleveland attacks Golden State, how Golden State does that. If I'm Cleveland, I go small. I put LeBron on the low block. Tell him to go to work. Who's going to stop him?
So we'll get into that also on this evening's program. We'll hear from Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, as well as Ronnie Rance from Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. All of that coming your way tonight on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. We're going to take a break, come back. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, Cox Cable, AT&T UVerse, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. We'll be right back after this pause on Tigers Roar. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations. Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net. We continue with Tigers Roar. We remind you each and every week the original airing of this program is on a Wednesday night, 8 to 10, 2 hours prime time. If you're catching this on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, be it on Pelican Sports TV or WHNO TV Channel 20 out of New Orleans or the ETEL cable system, you have a rebroadcast going, but that's fine. We appreciate you watching whenever you can. Mid-morning on Thursdays, it goes up on YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting,
Scary.
where you can find a bunch of things that we do. Jordy, I want you to tell them about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, Mike
Glad
and the
to.
staff, and the great things they can do for all the good folks out there.
A meat and seafood market been in existence now for 13, 14 years. Started off very small, has grown and grown exponentially thanks to you, the customers, who continue to frequent the establishment. They're at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Go to their website, Tremontes.com. That's Tremontes, Tramonte. Apostrophe S, Tremontes.com. You see the phone number, 751-7665. They've got everything you could ever crave or desire. In this part of the world, we love to have fun, we love to eat great food, and we love to have a good drink with it. And they've got everything you need for that, all wrapped up into one building. Their Chairman's Reserve beef, absolutely second to none. Their world-famous hamburgers. Let's say, Tommy, you want to go on to the beach, and you got a whole family to feed. Go to Tremonti's. They've got them boxed. They've got them vacuum sealed, frozen. Bring them out, thaw them out, stick them on the grill. I'm telling you, they are fabulous. They've got everything you need, wines, spirits, elixirs, whatever you want, all under one roof, Tremontes.com.
Well, a couple of things on Tremonti's. Number
Okay.
one, I have a friend who's going to be traveling out of the country and wants to bring some Louisiana food type stuff, and I'm going to get with Mike, and he's going to help us arrange all that. The other thing, I always talk about the sprinkle spice, okay?
Yes,
I love
yes.
it. Mike gave me a couple of jars to share with some folks, so just tell them, give it a try. I gave it to a friend who, a couple of weeks ago, made a big thing of pastelaia.
Very
Said
good.
the only seasoning he used was the Tremonti's
There you
sprinkle
go.
spice. He said it was fantastic. Best pastelaia batch he ever made, and that will be how he makes it from this point forward. So there you go. That's good stuff.
Still have the crawfish.
I've been telling people it's good stuff, and that's it. When you hear others who use it or brag about it, then gee.
That they can do anything you need. If you're planning ahead, maybe you want to watch the regional on television. Maybe you're going tailgating for the regional. Call Tremonti's up. They can put party platters together for you, whatever you want, either meat or seafood, whatever. We've had some of their party platters here with their fried catfish, their fried shrimp, their fried boudin balls. So whatever you need, they can handle it. 751-7665. Go to their website, Tremontes.com.
Well, there you have it. Hey, a couple of things we want to talk to. We'll be joined shortly by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. But I want to talk a couple of things about the SEC meetings. We could be here all night. But first off, this whole thing about Auburn going to the East Division, that is strictly
That's
talk.
fans talking.
Yeah, that's fans talking. There's no movement in the powers that be in the SEC to move Auburn to the East Division. The only way I think the SEC ever does any realignment, I've said this on the radio several times, is if the day comes when they expand from 14 to 16 teams, then that's the perfect time, or that's the reason that you realign, if in fact it's necessary at then. If you had two teams, and I'm not going to speculate who, what, where, when, and why, but that, in my opinion, would be the only time you'd see realignment.
Do you think if they had a do-over, the SEC, do you think they would add the same two teams that they did back in the day, Missouri being one, or do you think they're pleased with what Texas A&M and what Missouri have brought to the table?
I think the early calls, they're pleased because Missouri did go to 2 straight football championship games, which surprised everyone, including myself. And
Perfect storm. The East was really down.
Yeah, so I think that was a good thing. And I think if they had to answer it today, they'd be satisfied with it. 3 years from now, 4 years, 5 years from now, anything can change, and who knows where the powerhouse teams will reside at that point. But I think they'd be satisfied with it. But, I really believe that the Big 12 is rounding third, heading home. They're about done. And when I say that, I don't mean tomorrow or next month or next year. But I'm talking in the next 5-6 years. Either A, they got to expand, which there's nobody to take in, or B, those teams are going to have to land somewhere else. So I'll go pie in the sky. There's a chance Oklahoma and Texas end up in the Southeastern Conference one day.
I don't think Texas ever will. I don't think they want to give up the Longhorn Network.
Well, it's failing miserably.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and each year that goes by, it fails more. And when I say fail, I'm talking about it's financially in a hole.
And this is a big thing with what's happening across the landscape. What we've seen with some other major networks that are hemorrhaging. How does that affect the SEC network? And that's where all the big dollars have come from. What if that starts to wane and wane and wane?
Well, and keep in mind, ESPN owns the SEC network. ESPN is struggling. They just got canned John Clayton, their football insider that's been with them forever. He got canned. We've seen the other list of cannings that have went on. ESPN has lost hundreds of millions of dollars in subscriber fees.
The rights fees are out of the world.
But they still owe these rights fees to the NBA, the MLB, and the SEC network is on that
That's
list.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, enjoy these checks while they're coming.
Sooner or later, everything
balances out a little bit.
Yeah.
All these coaches' salaries.
Let me point out, we don't mean next month. We don't mean next year. We don't mean 2019. We're looking a little bit long term here. I know we live in an immediate world now with smartphones and whatnot, but those things, because it's been said for years that ESPN was staring a problem. Well, in the last 18 months, that problem surfaced with the layoffs and the cutbacks and the changes
and
in doing
this
things.
is not the end of that.
But that was predicted 3, 4, 5 years ago when subscriber fees changed because television is changing. And so.
Every time there's a new contract and the rights fees go from here to here, what happens? Your rights fees go from here to have that service. So it comes a point in time where people say, I don't have it anymore. I can't afford it.
Right. Now, and one other thing, we got a couple things from the SEC meetings, but one other topic I want to get to before we break for Brian Lazar. I read a report today, Wednesday morning, Ole Miss. They say this is the closest thing to the death penalty ever when they're going to end up getting hammered for all the problems that have occurred up there, mainly in football. And they're not going to give the death penalty to anybody because in some ways SMU is still not recovered from that, and that's 35 years ago. And I think shortly, 5, 10 years after SMU got hammered, they said we can't do that again. But Ole Miss is in big, big trouble. Pun intended, I've said for a year they're headed for the deep freeze, and they are. I mean, this is going to be bad for Ole Miss. It's also going to be bad for the SEC.
Yeah.
When you get a member institution that gets hammered as hard as they're going to get hammered, it's bad for the whole conference. It's bad for all the sports programs at Ole Miss, including football, and then it's bad for the conference.
What's worse, recruiting violations or academic fraud? Because we still haven't seen North Carolina
get hammered. Okay, maybe North Carolina and Ole Miss could go form their own conference and just play each other and give out a trophy.
I mean, if you look everywhere, you can find recruiting violations.
Right.
Everywhere. Academic fraud?
And ongoing.
Ongoing for years and years.
This isn't, one semester a bunch of guys stole a bunch of tests. This is like a 10-year window of academic fraud in many sports at North Carolina. But Ole Miss is in big trouble, and that hammer just hasn't dropped yet. Of course, Hugh Freeze at the SEC meetings was asked about it. He gave the only answer he could. Well, wait till they hear our side of the story, and we'll go from there. That's the only thing he can say.
Does the AD lose his job? Does the AD lose his job? Does Hugh Freeze lose their job? I can't imagine them doing that right now.
Not now. If the sanctions come out, then we'll see what happens. But I should say this, when the sanctions come out, because they are coming. We just don't know exactly when on that. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Get his latest thoughts on the Tiger baseball team and see if anything's happening in the world of recruiting. LSU football. Summer school starts Monday, June
3rd or 4th, something like that.
June 5th, I think it is. 1, 2, 3. June 5 is when summer school starts.
Everybody will be checking in except for Tyler Shelvin.
And then they can start some workouts.
They can start working
Danny Etling can't throw the ball yet. I don't know if the word minor on that surgery.
Notice they said with, I hope she's doing well. Coach O's wife had major back surgery.
Yeah,
which
she's expected to get back to Louisiana this week.
You can drop the major or the minor. It's
back surgery.
Surgery is surgery.
When you tell me we're at almost to June 1st and Etling still can't throw a football, that doesn't tell me it was a minor procedure.
Who's coming in next Monday? Who's checking in?
Miles Brennan.
Oh, open the door. Let's see.
Here we go. It's on. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Christ says, spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Tigers Roar with Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Krysan. Our pleasure to now be joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Brian. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing terrific. How about that baseball team, huh?
Rolling off a few wins in a row. But It's all about starting pitching.
Yeah.
Their starting pitching has been very good in this stretch, and if it keeps up, then they got a chance to go far.
Who do you anticipate starting on Friday against Texas Southern? Who do you think, knowing Paul the way he is and seeing his track record, they've been to six straight national seeds, so he's always been the number one seed in Baton Rouge, playing some maybe not so equally talented clubs, and Texas Southern certainly isn't. Who do you think he goes with?
Well, he's already said that Alex Lang's not going until the second game.
Right.
Obviously, he's holding him for the winner's bracket game. And Eric Walker threw, so many pitches Sunday
right,
that he doesn't see him going until, probably Sunday. So, look, that leaves Jared Poche. If somebody said, well, why don't they throw, say, start Caleb Gilbert and hold everybody back? Well, look, here's an extenuating circumstance here. Jared Poche is one win away from tying
That's a
the
great
record
point.
for the most wins in LSU career. And I just think, let's
throw the dog a bone. You telling me?
Let's go and let him get that win against Texas Southern.
That's who I think he's starting. I really do. I really do.
I would hope he doesn't start him just for that. I mean, you don't put a team record or an individual record.
What about this thought? What about your team saying, okay, this is a regional, and we're going to start this guy? You start a Peterson or a Gilbert. Maybe they look down upon that opponent a little bit, and they have that lull and that.
They
lack
can't have
of
that
focus.
lull against Texas Southern.
I'm just saying. I think he plays Poche. I really do. Anyway.
I would start Poche. I mean, that's who I would start. And now I'm sure people saying, well, what happens if they lose a game and then they've got to play a championship game on Monday, and now you're talking about then you're may have to start a number 4 guy. Well, yeah, that's the risk you run. You run there, but you certainly wouldn't think that that's going to happen. Though it happened last year. Rice took LSU to a decisive game.
True.
So I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to be Poche. He could change his mind and throw Gilbert. And then I think if he does throw Gilbert, then I think he's talking about Gilbert, Lang, and Poche and not throwing Walker.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just have to wait and see. Paul is going to announce it tomorrow. Look, he stressed to the media so much yesterday. We're not looking ahead. We're taking it a game at a time. I know a lot of that's coach speak, but still, you're saying all that and telling that to your players. And then if you go out there and start your number 4 pitcher, that
sends a message.
Giving a different message. And look, also, the reason why you're starting your number 4 pitcher in that game is you're telling your players, look, I think there's a chance we can lose one of these first 3. If you think you're gonna sweep all 3, then you go with your 3 guys, and that's it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Brian, I totally understand the coach speak end of it. I get that. But, Coach Mainieri has to manage the whole weekend, but the priority has to be manage the game at hand. I understand all of that, and I don't know what he'll do Friday. Well, like you said, we'll find out on Thursday. It could be a couple of different guys. We know it's not Alex Lang. That's about the only thing we can put in
it's not Walker. We know those two for sure.
It's not Walker. It's not those 2 guys. It's the only thing we truly do know. Brian, describe, I mean, you've watched this for decades, as many of us have, the uncanny ability of an LSU baseball team, under Paul Mainieri or not, to play its best baseball in the month of May. Is that due to the preparation in February, March, and April? Do they just have that confidence that, hey, we're going to put it all together come May? We know there's talent, a lot of talent on this team, but what they've done since losing to South Alabama has just been, a buzzsaw.
Yeah, and again, it's different reasons for different teams. I mean, last year's team was not as experienced as this year's team. So I think last year's team got better as the year went on. The schedule wasn't quite as tough the last few weeks of the season, and I think that had something to do with it. This team, I think, is you have a veteran team, and they knew they were good, and I just think that when they were sitting there at 10-8, I think they said, "Uh-oh, man, we better get going."
Yeah.
And I think that that's the situation. I don't think that's going to happen all the time with a young team more so than an old team.
I'm so impressed with that center fielder Watson. Man, can he get up and go? He just runs everything down. For a freshman who's never played the outfield prior to this year, I think is remarkable.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, he's also the example, you have to be more athletic to play the game now than you did 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Down, man.
And you got a lot of guys on the LSU roster, and many other rosters for that matter, who can move around because they're athletic. One, they play multiple sports, and I know that's an age-old topic. I think kids should play as many sports as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think I read this year 84% of the guys drafted in the NFL played more than one sport in high school. So, I mean, it's all about being athletic, and Watson is truly athletic. He could probably play second, short, third, probably catch if you gave him a couple weeks to work at it. So I think that's part of that. But the defense has been there all year, Brian, for this team. The pitching has surfaced to the top as everyone hoped it would. And the hitting, even the bottom part of the lineup, is being more productive. You throw that all together, and you got a West Division title, you have a SEC championship, and an SEC tournament championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're making a good point there. It's just this team's played well at the right time, but now you start all over. Everybody says they're a national seed for the 6th straight year, but that means nothing. Just throw out Stony Brook, Houston, Coastal Carolina. Those are all teams for national seeds who lost in the regional or super regional. So it's the starting pitching. If you ask me, if the starting pitching stays good, then they got a chance to keep playing.
How would you rank this this regional with Southeastern, Rice, and Texas Southern? Is it one of the weaker, one of the stronger? How do you think it compares?
Well, I thought it was looking at it as one of the weaker ones until I looked at one of these teams. Look, Rice is a dangerous team for this reason. First of all, look, I know they're 31-29. If they don't win the Coosa tournament, they're not in the NCAA tournament. But they've won 18 of their last 22 games.
Yep.
They have a lot of players back, position players, who were here last year when Rice forced LSU to a decisive game. The big question is that their pitching has struggled all year. But they have guys that have played here last year. They're not going to be intimidated. Wayne Graham's brought teams here a bunch of times. Rice, most of these kids beat LSU in a game in the regional last year. So that could be kind of a tricky game, And Southeastern, Southeastern's a good team. I can't see them, say beating LSU 2 out of 3 games to win the regional. But Rice, that could be tricky.
So should we be big fans of the Lions rather than the Owls?
Yeah, I would much rather. I think LSU is better off playing Southeastern than Rice on Saturday night.
Okay. Gotcha. And then matched up with the Hattiesburg regional, whoever comes out of both, if LSU wins, they'll take on the winner of that one. How do you rank that one with Southern Miss, good ball club? Mississippi State's in there.
South Alabama, the last team to beat LSU.
Yeah.
Look, I thought of all the midweek teams that came to the box, South Alabama was the best one. When midweek teams come here, you don't see their pitchers.
Right.
But I thought South Alabama's lineup was very good. So I really think you got 3 teams that can win that regional. USM, South Alabama, and Mississippi State. So it's going to be.
That's one of the better ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Look, you can't just say, okay, if LSU's they're going to win 5 straight games and definitely going to Omaha.
I've never seen Oregon State play, but 48-4. I don't care who you play. 48-4. Are you serious?
Yeah, they've had a great season.
Unbelievable.
Well, I have a friend who umpires in the Pac-12, and he's had them many times this year. He said when he was at the park in Corvallis, he thought the miles per hour thing on the scoreboard was broke on 95. He said everybody they bring in throws 95. Bullpen, starter, it doesn't matter. He told me, and he was a former major league ump, and he actually works some SEC games too. He works Pac-12 and SEC. He told me, he said I've never seen that many pitchers throw that hard, and out there it must be working. Pac-12 does not have a postseason tournament, but they cruise to the title, obviously.
I'm not trying to be critical. I want y'all's opinion. Do y'all get as nervous when Hunter Newman comes in the ballgame as I do? My God, man, does he make it interesting. He scares me to death.
Look, that's how he is. I mean, some games it's pretty simple. You can tell pretty quickly, and it's all about his release point. He gets in there sometimes and has trouble finding. It doesn't have the right release point. He's going to have to get behind hitters and walk guys. If that's the case, it's going to be a trouble. But like Paul says, here's the job of a relief pitcher: get the third out before the other team scores a tying run. Doesn't matter how he gets to it, but that's his job.
It drive me crazy.
Hey, I think a lot of fans are in the same boat with you, Jordy. We're visiting with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. We'll get him to tell you about that in a couple of moments. Brian, the SEC spring meeting's going on in Destin. A lot of stuff coming out of there, some with more substance than other stories that are coming out of there. What has maybe grabbed your attention at this year's meetings in Destin?
Nothing so far. I think there's a lot of things that are being talked about just because there's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
The talk Auburn going to shift to the Eastern Division. They said that's not going to happen. They're not going to talk about that. They're talking about changing looking at the graduate transfer rules. The SEC's got a rule that if you take a graduate transfer and it doesn't make academic progress, then you can't take another one for 3 years. And I know that the schools want to change that rule. The alcohol issue, that's going to be discussed, but that's not, if LSU fans think that they're going to vote tomorrow and they're going to say, okay, let's change it, that they're in a dream world, that's not going to happen. So it's just a time for the coaches, the football coaches and the basketball coaches to get down there and the media can talk to them. But, I don't, from a, rules purpose, I don't really see a lot coming out of it.
Probably one of the more uneventful sets of meetings because there have been other times when big stuff came out of Destin, but likely not the case this year. Hey, Brian, tell us what's happening at TigerBait.com.
www.tigerbait.com. Obviously, plenty of coverage of baseball right now leading into the regional, which begins on Friday. Maybe a little, may have a little football story in there at the end of the week. And, of course, if there anything breaks in recruiting, some of these football camps now start this weekend. We'll have Mike, we'll have coverage of all those.
Hey, Brian, you did a story on Taylor Schwanner, the Southland Conference Player of the Year from Southeastern. Is that posted yet?
Yeah, it wasn't just. It's just a preview of the regional, and we used Taylor's photo, so it's not a story on him. It's just a preview of the teams in the regional.
One more question I have with LSU baseball: should I be worried a little bit about Freeman at second base? Did he have some? Did it look to me like he was having some problems?
No, but he's made a few errors, which is uncharacteristic of him recently.
I thought for a second he couldn't throw to first base. I mean, he threw like 10 feet wide of first base one time. I'm like, should I be worried about that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see how he does when he gets back home. But that was kind of out of character.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, Brian. As always, appreciate it.
Okay,
take care, buddy.
Thanks.
Who was that big league player?
Steve Sachs.
Yeah, he couldn't throw to first base.
And their catcher, Darren Dalton, couldn't throw it back to the pitcher.
And I'm like, whoa, Cole, what are you doing, man?
Well, yeah, it's between the left ear and the right ear.
Yeah.
Because physically we know he's capable of. But
it happened a lot.
You get a mental block on that, that'd be like if all of a sudden you couldn't make a free throw.
Never happened.
You were a very good free throw shooter.
Because ain't nothing between these two ears.
You walked right into that. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Guys, all of a sudden you miss 3-4 free throws in a row and you start going, what the heck's going on here?
That's when some of those guys I used to see, or baseball, don't hit it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, don't throw it to me. I don't want the ball. No, please.
We'll take a little break, come back, talk a little bit about Beth Torina's softball team. Got some highlights and interviews on that. All of that and more next when we continue with Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-779-1032, 800-779-1032.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jody Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you. I want to remind you about the radio station here, part of the Pelican Broadcasting operation. WUBR, Baton Rouge, 9:10 a.m. on the radio dial. Available on the TuneIn app. Also our own app, search WUBR. A great mixture of local and national programming, including Jody Hultberg, Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scandaliato with Sportsline. Carlos Brown on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio hosted by Mike Shepard and select Houston Astros baseball games. So check out WUBR. Take us with you at CBS Sports Radio affiliate. Jim Rome, 11 to 1 every day with the national perspective. Jordy, tell us about your afternoon program in the Lafayette market.
Thank you, Tommy. 2 to 4 on 103.7 FM. We get you from Lake Charles all the way through Acadiana and all the way up to the Lobdell exit just before the Mississippi River Bridge. 2 to 4, Monday through Friday, 103.7 FM, The Game.
All right, tip of the hat to the softball team. As we mentioned, Coach Beth Torina's Lady Tigers got hot in the SEC tournament up in Knoxville, got to the finals against Ole Miss, and then, rolled through the regional in Baton Rouge, dodged a few raindrops. And then the big story is go into Tallahassee. Florida State had not lost at home all season long.
That's crazy.
And they win games 2 and 3 of the best-of-3 series. And they'll head off to Oklahoma City. They'll play Thursday at 1:30 on ESPN, the main platform. Patrick Wright will have the call on the radio. UCLA, the opponent, only 8 teams in Oklahoma City. And we'll keep track of Coach Beth Torina's Lady Tigers. We've got some highlights and interviews for you after capturing the Super Regional in Tallahassee. Here's some Lady Tiger softball.
Out here, 2-0 count. Right-handed bat. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left. Andrews is back. She's under it. Andrews catches it. The ball game is over. The Tigers win. And for the 3rd straight year, they're going back to Oklahoma City. And LSU survives, and it is back to back to back to Oklahoma City.
It seems like every year at this time we talk about why we're called the Fighting Tigers. We see it again here today, largely in part to these two next to me and then Savannah's leadership behind the plate. But our whole team really just fought, battled, came together. And, I think there's one thing to be said for having talent, but there's something else to be said for having grit and having guts. And I'm really proud of our team for having that. I think we have a good mentality when it comes to these games. I think we don't approach it carefully. We don't approach it fearlessly. Fearfully. We know that if we lose, the sun still comes up tomorrow. So I don't think, our life is hanging on this one moment. I think we just try to go out and enjoy it and play hard and represent our university.
Honestly, I was trying to take it one pitch at a time, and she's a great pitcher. She mixes speeds, keeps you off balance. So I really wanted to see it deep and get runs for my team.
When bases were loaded and Warren was up, it wasn't like the best situation ever. And then started off with a ball, so that was even worse. But then we threw a change of speed. Luckily, she rolled over, and then momentum was back in our hands. So, yeah, bases were still loaded. But, I think we got out of it best we could. At this time of year, too, we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be pretty. A win's a win right now, so I'm happy with it.
Yes, I was just trying to come in and do pitch my strengths, reminding myself one pitch at a time. And they got onto me at the end, but I'm so glad Carly came in after me and shut him down.
I've said this before. I feel like you win or lose before the batter even steps in the box. Someone can surprise you and get a 0-2 hit. But if I'm beating them mentally before they're even in the box, then I win. If I'm already losing to them before they get in the box, then they win. So if I already tell myself that I'm losing before someone steps in the box, that's not going to be a very positive outcome for me. So I think we work on that mental training. So
it's unreal. It's still surreal to me. I close my eyes and I'm replaying the last play over and over again, dogpiling, and it's just I wouldn't want to be in any other position with any other players.
Honestly, in game one, we didn't commit as much as we could have. So, we had some leaders that wanted to do a better job of that. And I think when we're all bought into the same thing, we are very tough to beat. When we're all on the same page and we're committed to it, we're very tough to beat.
Yeah, definitely. I think we had our dog pile, and I think that we're already talking about what we're going to do next and how we're going to practice and how we're going to keep this positive mentality and confidence up for next week. But I don't really care about the records that I'm setting. I care about one national championship.
There's some huge things about them. It's not just this weekend. Like, their career has been phenomenal. They are unbelievable players. And just great people on top of it. So I'm really proud of the career they've had. They're a huge reason for why we're standing here today. For what we've done over the past 4 years is largely in part to those two young women. We'll do whatever it takes to win. It doesn't matter if you want us to eat the crawfish, hold the crawfish. We'll do whatever it takes to win. Can't be crazy.
The approach is going to be win one pitch at a time, and it's going to start at practice. We're going to work. That's what we know how to do. We're just going to scratch and claw our way to win one pitch at a time.
Well, it really has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the players that are sitting next to me, the players that have worn this uniform. I just write a lineup every day. These guys are the ones that actually go out and play ball, and they're the ones that are continuing just to write the history of this program. I took over a fantastic program. A Hall of Famer handed this to me in the most beautiful stadium in the country. So, we have players that work.
Tigers are already in Oklahoma City, and of course Thursday afternoon, UCLA. We'll take a break, come back. We've got some football items for you. Yeah, Tiger football right after this pause. Stay with us.
Never ends.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Everybody loves to hear about LSU Tiger football. Jordy, you got a few things to update the viewers on.
Ed Orgeron in Destin says he understands the elephant in the room. He's got to get past the elephant. That, of course, is Alabama, and talked about recruiting, how he's trying to put that wall up. He said, he made a great point. He said, yeah, Alabama's coming here and taking some of ours, but what people don't ever talk about is we got 3 of the top 6 players out of the state of Texas to come here. So what's good for the goose is kind of good for the gander. Arden Key expects him in for summer classes, which begin next Monday.
Does it alarm you that he keeps saying, I expect him in? I know we're in a politically correct grammar and all that, but I expect him in, not he will be here.
I guess you never know until they show.
That tells me there's Just a little crack in the door. What else you got?
John Battle from a hip. He expects him to be ready to go soon. Danny Etling, as you said earlier, he says, I'm sure Danny snuck a throw-in or two, but no need to rush that in any way, shape, or form. Tyler Shelvin, the top recruit from the state of Louisiana, will not be in summer school. He's still got some high school paperwork he's got to catch up on. They expect him in the fall. What else? Willie Allen, the offensive lineman from John Curtis. They recruited him as a project, and that project hasn't worked out yet. Apparently, he's like third string already, and he's looking to transfer out. Ed Orgeron said that he and Willie Allen are in discussion, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that. And everybody.
And Orgeron said, I'm sorry, Orgeron did say, we have got to recruit better on the offensive line because Alabama's all about defensive front, and that's a fact. And we got to get better people up front offensively to withstand that onslaught, to protect our people, to open up holes. So look for LSU to make a strong push offensive line-wise to get unlike Les Miles, who would get a talented offensive lineman and they would play multiple positions. You got to get point specific, I believe. You got to get a center. You've got to get someone who's a left tackle and has played that and you can put him in right away from the get-go.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Of course, summer school starts Monday, June 5. Players can come in. There are things they can do. There's not going to be a full-blown practice, obviously, but there are things they can do with weight training, strength, conditioning. They can go throw the football on their own.
7-on-7, stuff like that.
There's some things
we
that
call
can
that
happen.
pickup games.
Yeah.
We play 5-on-5 pickup
neighborhood
games.
football. Meet at the playground. We're going to play.
All of a sudden, that door would open. You see a head pop in. Oh, yeah, okay.
In the neighborhood, did y'all do this when it poured down raining? You found the nearest field, play slop football?
No.
Y'all didn't do that?
We did that on the golf course.
Slop golf?
We play slop soccer on the golf course. You talk about fun.
And get muddy, and then mom will
slide
get mad
everywhere.
You had to hose you off before you go inside.
She was all right.
All the old, good old
great.
stories.
Mom was great.
The good old stories. All right. Hey, we always appreciate you watching Tigers Roar, certainly. And we look forward to you tuning in each and every week. Throughout the summer, maybe a replay or two during the summer, but we're going to be here rolling into the 11th year of this program, be it on Pelican Sports TV, WHNO TV Channel 20 in New Orleans, the ETEL cable system, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can get a lot of our program and watch it at your convenience. I mean, that's kind of the way things are going, the way things have been. Follow us on Facebook. Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. Twitter account is @Pelican Sports.
Is this our spring look?
I don't know. We got to get springy looky or whatever.
Casual.
Hey, we got more of Tigers Roar. As always, thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Surfing through the channels with his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a mailbag.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-471-9811. 800-471-9811.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Time to visit with Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. Lots of big stuff coming up there soon. We'll get to that in a minute. Ronnie, good evening. How are you?
Doing great, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Ronnie, LSU hosts the regional. They're a national seed, number 4. Talk about this team to run through May, to win the West, win the SEC, and then for the 6th time in 9 years, Paul Mainieri wins the SEC tournament. Talk about the run this baseball team is on.
It's incredible. You know, I mean, it really is how they flip the switch. I mean, as we always say in sports, and I mean, they were in 7th place, and they were losing midweek games, and there was question whether or not they were going to do enough to host a regional, and here they are, a solid top 8 national seed, and other than really Oregon State, you're probably playing the best baseball in the country. So it's all come together. This is what this team, we thought this team was going to be this way from jump in February, and it just took them a while to finally figure it out. But we knew they had the talent. We expected them to play this way, and they are clicking on all cylinders. And unless something catastrophic happens, I just don't see them not being in Omaha.
Go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
Ronnie, the Baton Rouge Regional, they'll play Texas Southern 2:30 on Friday, weather permitting. And then the age-old question, who do you start? With all due respect to Texas Southern, they're one of 2 teams in the tournament with a less than 500 record. They went 2-4 against Roger Cadar's Jaguars this year. And again, this is just not a good baseball team. They don't pitch, they don't hit.
I got the solution.
They got a little speed, they can run the bases. But who do you start against Texas Southern? Coach Mainieri's already said it's not Lang and not Walker. Who do you go with and why?
Buzzy Heidel.
I was going to suggest 3 lefties. Start off with you, Ronnie, lefty. Go an inning. TK, you come in, throw an inning. And then LSU will have such a big lead, I can even come in there and throw 3 lefties in a row and we win.
You're getting a little crazy, but I do feel
a little.
If we had Joel and Buzzy, I think the 5 of us could piecemeal 9. I really do.
Probably.
Texas Southern's just not a great team, and unfortunately, their best pitcher's hurt and not able to throw.
Right.
Or he's actually back pitching in relief, but he's just not 100% healthy. So they really have no shot. It's a David and Goliath type of thing, and fortunately for LSU, they're very deep on the mound. I think Caleb Gilbert is going to end up getting the start. Paul Mainieri's playing Corey right now. He's not saying who's going to start because I think he just doesn't want them to have any chance to prepare and get ready. But I think you're going to see him say Caleb Gilbert gets the ball, and I'm sure he'll give them a nice outing, and they'll be able to rest everybody. And then, Walker is faced with the possibility of not even pitching this weekend, which is a nice problem to have. But if they do go Monday, Eric Walker is more than capable and ready to go. But I think you go Lang against either Rice or Southeastern, and then you got Poche on Sunday. And if you stumble anywhere along the line, which I don't think it'll be Saturday, I think if you stumble, it'll be Sunday. then you got Walker on Monday.
Brian, Jordy and I were discussing the possibility, like you said, good problem to have. If Walker doesn't throw, that means you've swept through the regional. Good problem to have. And then if you sweep the first 2 games of the Super Regional, he doesn't throw again, then you're going to Omaha with a guy that hasn't thrown in a couple of weeks. You and I, both former pitchers, you can get a little rusty if you go that far without throwing, because the inter-squad simulated game, it's not quite the same, regardless of whether you try to make it be. Your thoughts on that idea?
Well, a lot of teams are faced with that dilemma. We've seen it every year in the College World Series when teams do that, and you hear the announcers say, this guy had pitched in 3 weeks. I think in Walker's case, where a guy like him being a freshman, it's not a bad thing because he could use the rest. I mean, he hasn't pitched in these many games and these many meaningful games and these many innings in a long time, so I think he could use the rest. They will do a great job. Alan Dunn does a great job of making sure he gets his work, and they will simulate. So from a physical standpoint, he'll be fine. And if anything, it may help him throw a little harder over and over. But I just don't think it's that big of a deal, particularly for a guy as a freshman who probably wouldn't mind missing a start and resting an arm a little bit.
Away from Texas Southern, Rice has been here before. They beat LSU in the regional a year ago, made it extend to another game. They got a lot of players coming back. Wayne Graham, the ageless wonder, I think, 81 years old. Maybe not the best team he's had, but they've really been hot of late. Who would you rather, who's a better opponent for LSU, Southeastern or Rice?
It's a good question, Jordy. I don't really know because they're both tough on either perspective. Rice obviously, had to win their tournament just to get into a regional, but they have Rice across their chest. They have a Hall of Fame coach. They're not. They have an expectation as a program and a history to be good and be competitive. They obviously weren't intimidated. They've been in the box so many times. But the same thing can be said for Southeastern. Those are most of those players have grown up, playing against or with some of these LSU Tiger teammates. They've grown up going to games. They've played against LSU every year, so there's a familiarity. They'll have a bunch of fans as well. So I don't think either team is going to be in awe of the atmosphere. I think who they're going to be in awe of is Alex Lang. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The problem is Alex Lang is on fire and pitching like a first-round pick and pitching with a lot of confidence. And so I just don't know that it matters a whole bunch. Southeastern's got Schwarner, the Big Popper, in their lineup, who's the player of the year of the Southland Conference, who can hit a homer. So, maybe from that perspective, he scares you a little bit. But I don't think it really matters who they play on Saturday.
You guys were both pitchers. What have you seen in Lang? How has he been able to weather that semi-drought that he was in to become, now, like you just said, a dominant first-round type pitcher?
Well, for Lang, it's all about just throwing strikes. If he throws strikes and doesn't walk people, he's outstanding. The only times he's ever had bad outings is when he's hit people and walked people. He doesn't have games where he gives up 12 hits in 6 innings. That just doesn't happen. So he's his own worst enemy. As long as he's throwing strikes, and then to take it to the next level, when he's dominant is when he's able to throw strikes with that breaking ball. And then now you don't know what's coming. Even if they know what's coming, as long as he doesn't put them on base and he just challenges hitters in the college level with that 92 to 94 mile-an-hour fastball, he can get away with it more times than not. But when he takes it to the next level and he goes 10 strikeouts and one or two walks in a game, that's when he's throwing the breaking ball for strikes, because it's one of the better breaking balls in college.
Ronnie, you hit the nail on the head. If he throws the breaking ball for a strike, his chance to be successful goes through the roof, because the hitting approach on him would be, hey, take the breaking ball, let him show us he can throw it for a strike. Take it, and if he can't throw it for a strike. And that's when he's got in trouble earlier in the year with some walks, some hit batters, because that's the approach. That's how you try to hit against Alex Lang. So if he's dumping the curve in there and he's commanding it, then the other team, it doesn't matter if it's Southeastern, Rice, Texas Southern, whoever, they're in trouble.
I take my about the 8th inning, I take a Tylenol or a Aleve or an Advil, because I know Hunter Newman's coming in the 9th, and he scares me to death.
Well, questioning the whole SEC final inning, clincher where he got into a bobble, and some people were probably screaming to take him out. But in that moment, he was your best option. And then there was a little bit of Hunter Newman needed to get some work in at the SEC tournament. It had been a week, and he also needed to You also need to work out of a jam. I mean, if you blow that lead and you tie it up, it's not the worst thing in the world for LSU's season. They're still going to be a top 8 national seed, but at the same time, he's got to be in those situations. But I think, and I know Paul Mainieri loves to go, this is my 8th inning guy, this is my 9th inning guy. But watch and see if I'm not right. I think Paul Mainieri is going to surprise you in this postseason. Somewhere along the line, I think he's just going to let Hess finish it. And I think he's going to put Hess in the game and he's going to let him throw the 8th and the 9th. He's not going to necessarily just go straight to Newman. And that's not been his MO. But I think Hess is so good right now and he's so dominant that he should be their closer, but I understand why Newman is.
Well, and then
Thank you. I'm so with you on that.
You get into some other layers there. I mean, if you have a 2-3 run lead, let Hess in there until he gets in trouble. I mean, there's a lot of things there, but that's why Mainieri's making the big bucks.
I've always, coaches always told me, man, if you're making shots, you're not coming out. If you're getting outs, why come out?
The hardest outs to get is the last 3. And so there's something to be said for Newman being a veteran and being there and having all that experience. But that said, I'm all about the hot hand, and I would not take Hess out of the game in a crucial situation until he shows me in the 9th that he walks a guy, gives up a hit, then bring in Newman.
I'm with you.
Hey, Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and then next month, a huge month for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. Give us the rundown.
Well, Sports Shorts TV right here on Pelican, of course, Mondays at 9, Tuesdays at 8, and we'll have a ton of regional coverage. We had Alden Cartwright and Dan Canterbury on the show this week, and that'll replay on Thursday night. Also, Sports Shorts Radio, myself, Buzzy Heidel, Joel Davis, each and every Monday, 6 to 8. We'll be at Curbside on Government Street. Come see us this coming Monday, Curbside Burgers. And then the Hall of Fame, boy, we are rocking and rolling. I'm actually up in Natchitoches as we speak, getting ready for the big induction ceremony weekend, June 22nd through 24th. A lot of great Hall of Famers, but a couple names you know: Ed Reed, greatest safety in the history of NFL football; David Toms, greatest golfer from the state of Louisiana; Eddie Kinnison, Dee Bro, and many others. And if you want to be a part of it, go to lasportshall.com. We've got like 7 events in 3 days. Coming up to Natchitoches, Alexandria. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Ronnie, as always, we appreciate it. We'll visit with you again soon.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all
okay, buddy. Take care.
All right, that's Ronnie Rance.
Thank you. I agree.
No,
Leave him in.
I heard you talking about that on your radio show, and it goes back to, I'm going to make an analogy.
Unspoken rules of baseball.
No, it goes back to the analogy. It's easy to coach from the stands.
Absolutely.
It's easy to coach in the reclining chair.
Look, he's a Hall of Famer. I understand.
Yeah, Paul Mainieri's in his 35th year. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's got some skins on the wall.
No doubt.
And I would say this to you.
But we can all change.
Yeah, well, we talked about it earlier. Sometimes you got to change. And I'm like Ronnie, leave the hot hand in. Now, if it's a 1-run game, first guy gets on, that's tie and run, then make the change.
Yeah.
If you're up by 2, he gets at
least
if you're up by 2, they can hit it out the park, you're still up. So I think you try to get the outs because you're going to get more outs than hits 99% of the time.
At least he's got some in-game rhythm. Newman's pitching on the side. That's not the same.
It's different. There's no question.
There's nobody up there with a stick in his hand. He's just throwing to a mitt.
No question that it is different. And once again, the regional in Baton Rouge and then 15 other regionals going on. People will do some scoreboard watching over in Hattiesburg. A lot of stories can come out of that joint.
Hail to the SEC yet again, the conference with the most teams in the dance. They've got 8. The ACC's got 7, but SEC reigns supreme.
There you go, the SEC. So
how is Vanderbilt not any good? They got like the first pick in the draft and one of the top 2 of the top 5 picks.
They've had some injuries.
How are they not any good?
Injuries happen. They've had them. Okay,
man, come on.
Mississippi State's had a lot of injuries. That's one reason they're not hosting. They tailed off in May. Okay. So I mean, things do happen. You do have injuries.
Can't throw that picture every game, can you?
No, and then of course. Don't forget the weather forecast for the weekend is not good. It's not good.
It's going to be all right.
But
come on.
Hey, we all got a weatherman in our smartphone.
Since when has the weatherman been right?
They're right sometimes, right?
Like a baseball player. 3 out of 10. You're
in the Hall of Fame.
3
out of 10, you're in the Hall of Fame. I never thought about it that way. But anyway, all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got some baseball highlights and interviews for you. Yes, the Tigers won the regular season title. The tournament title, 6 to 9 years from Mainieri. I don't think that gets mentioned enough. 2 years they did not qualify for the tournament, but 9 times in his 11 years at LSU, he's made it to Hoover, and 6 times they brought it home. And I got to say this before we go to break. The crowd, the fans that showed up was incredible. The Arkansas player telling Cole Freeman, I didn't know this was y'all's home game.
SEC
I know
East.
a friend of mine's daughter, big baseball fan, and when it was locked in at LSU would be playing Saturday, they loaded up the car, went to Hoover, a group of people to go watch the Tigers, and many people did that. As soon as they saw they were in on the weekend,
boom,
purple and gold just dominated.
Are you sad? Are you crying? A little tear?
For what?
The Hurricanes, for the first time in 44 years, aren't in the dance?
That's a remarkable
44
streak.
straight?
44 straight years, the Miami team.
More and Morris, baby, I can still see it. I was there. I've never been back to Omaha since. Why would I go back?
No, you can't see anything better than that.
Better. That was the greatest.
Unless you saw a grand slam in the bottom of the last.
The greatest. This is unbelievable. Because the game was here. Tigers up, Miami's up. Tigers up, Miami's up. Oh, it's crazy.
I saw Brian Wilson about 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, what does he look like?
He's still in shape. He's good.
Does he have the face?
No, not that one. The one who hit the double before Morris hit the homer.
Okay.
Brian Wilson, and somebody was standing next to me, said, were you safe at second that day in Omaha? He said, called me safe.
That's right.
That was his answer.
I think he went off the bag.
He said, the called me safe.
Yeah.
That's how he answered that question. I thought that was cool.
What did Tim Lanier say he said to Warren Morris after he struck out, and then Morris came up? He said something to him.
I can't remember.
And I can't remember. I'll have to figure that one out, but that was the greatest.
All right. Hey, we'll take a break, come back, let you dive into some of those baseball highlights and interviews. Right after this pause, spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com, Cox Cable, AT&T UVerse, YouTube on Thursday mornings. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
With Tigers Roar rolling on, we remind you the original airing each week on a Wednesday night. If you're catching it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or you're on YouTube, you have a rebroadcast going, but that's fine. We appreciate you watching when you can, and as always, we ask you to spread the roar. Jordy's going to spread the word about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood.
Meat and seafood market, been in existence for quite some time, about 13, 14 years on Old Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge. Go to their website, Tremontis.com, and you can see everything that Mike and his staff have to offer, whether it be daily lunches, whether it be in their meat case, whether it be in their pre-made meals, and all you do is take their crawfish fettuccine out, stick it in the oven for 30, 35 minutes, and you're the king of your castle. They've got world-class burgers. They've got wine, spirits, elixirs, crawfish season still in effect. So whatever you need, they've got it. If you go into the regional this weekend and you want to bring some good food out because some of your friends are tailgating, their burgers are outstanding. Their sausage is top shelf. Whatever you want, they've got it. Come on by, get it, and bring it out there and have a ball at the ball game.
And don't forget the sprinkle spice, my favorite. Next time you're in Tremonti's, pick up
everything tastes better.
Pick up some of it, pick up a lot of it. It is outstanding. Sprinkle spice, you can put it on anything and everything at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. So do check that out. Jordy, we've been talking about it, the better part of the program, the run this baseball team has went on. A lot of people were a little skeptical back in April, including myself. There were days when I thought, you know, this doesn't look like an Omaha team. This doesn't look like a national team.
See, that's still on the screen, and I'm really hungry.
Making you hungrier?
Thank you for pulling that off of that. I'm hungrier.
Tremonti's will make you hungry. But, you know, there was a lot of skepticism, you know, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, including myself. There were days on the radio when I'm like, I got people asking me, is this team going to go to Omaha? So, well, today they don't look like an Omaha team.
Quit doing that to me, guys.
But you have to let it play out.
Yeah.
You've got to let it play out. And we should have learned this lesson over the decades with LSU baseball.
Alan's killing
it's
me.
It's a disco now.
See,
we need
starving.
a strobe light, a black light.
I'm going to call Mike up
the
and
mirror ball.
Get him to come cater some food for us.
Did you disco dance back in the day, by the way?
Heck yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I had the high platform shoes and the wide bell bottoms. Like I said, fashion now, stick with the conservative nature. It'll last forever. But no, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's like, what was the old Bill Parcells line? You are what your record says you are. And at that point in time, LSU wasn't as good as I'm sure they had thought they would be, and they certainly weren't as good as their fan base thought it was. And this is what cracks me up about the fan base. And they're great. They're great. But to the ardent LSU baseball fan, baseball season started now. All this other stuff was like preliminary stuff. Now is when it starts.
But see, I blame it on the smartphones. We live in an immediate world. You and I are both guilty. You send somebody a text and 10 minutes goes by, you go, why didn't they answer me? Well, they might be busy. They might be in the middle of a meeting. They might have to do something with the kids.
Or like all the women do to you, they block you.
Yeah, they block me. But, you know, so you get to April and the team's not ranked number one, you know, at 30-5, and everybody says, something's wrong. They ain't going to make it, you know. And you got to let it play out. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's all Skip's fault. It's all Skip. He set the mountain too high.
He set the bar high. There's no question about that.
You can't climb that mountain. You can't.
Well, let's revisit the heck of a weekend it was in Hoover, Alabama. 20th year the SEC tournament's been there. There's been some talk of moving that around a little bit. Memphis, New Orleans.
I'm all for it.
Somewhere else.
I'm all for it.
Jacksonville. Let somebody else have it.
We'll
see if that happens. But here's a lot of highlights, a lot of interviews on Paul Mainieri's LSU Tigers capturing the SEC tournament.
Go to Memphis with that ballpark.
In a hot bat, guess what? They came in swinging one again. Cameron Meisner connects for his 7th of the season. They're up 1-0.
Caleb Gilbert, the Hoover High School star, gets the start in this game. He's usually a reliever, gets the start, lays one in there for Missouri early.
In the 3rd, TJ Sikkema getting the go for the Tigers. 2nd start of his career. Zach Watson hits one hard to the gap in right center field. Michael Papierski comes around to score from first because, well, you typically can do that on a double, and it's a 1-1 game.
Absolutely, you score on a double with a guy on first base, don't you? And I mean, what a great job by Zach Watson out of the 9-0, going the opposite way.
2-1, bottom 3. Cole Freeman had a sac fly. Then Antoine Duplantis up with one on, and that's deep to right. Kramer Robertson, post-game guest, comes in to score. Part of a 2-for-5 day for Duplantis. It's a 2-run LSU lead, and then Missouri. You can't be giving them extra opportunities, and the Tigers, unfortunately, of Missouri were doing that as Nick Coombs fly ball to right. Looks like it's over, but Kirby McGuire can't handle it. You can't handle the fly ball. That means Duplantis scores. And it's trouble all over the place for MIZ-ZOU. He called off Robbie Glendenning, but didn't seem to see it.
Called him off a little early, then probably lost it for a second, and then, of course, slips. And those 3 combinations are not good.
Yeah, part of a 4-run 3rd, and then Cole Freeman lays down the bunt. Sikkema's throw to first is errant. 2nd and 3rd for LSU. Then it's Duplantis coming back up, part of a big day. The top 3 of this order had 8 hits in 15 AB or 13 ABs. That's a beauty there.
The biggest story of this, Dara, is in the first 5 runs, the 2 lefties, Duplantis and Dykeman, in that order, just beat them up for 3 runs out of those 5. And a left-handed pitcher, you need to get those lefties out.
Yeah, we had rain. We had rain, and we had some wind, by the way. Hour, 21-minute rain delay. LSU sophomore Chris Reed was doing a little freestyle rap, apparently. Missouri decided they'd play football. And then we played baseball in the 8th. 7-2. Kramer Robertson had an RBI single. Cole Freeman up with 2 on, and Freeman, good bat.
Cole Freeman have a day. Wow.
Please, huh?
That dude can play some second base, and then you're hitting home runs on top of all that. Wow.
4.
Another jet into the air, left field. This ball, no doubt, it's gone. Kramer Robertson, leadoff home run. Absolutely mashed it off the bat. Quick swing by Kramer Robertson. His 2nd home run here in the SEC tournament. His 8th of the season. The 2-2 mashed in the air. Deep right center field. Hopkins giving chase at the wall. He's able to grab it.
Oh, my way.
Over the wall.
He doesn't have it.
No, he didn't have it. They thought he did.
Oh, God.
It's a home run.
He didn't have it.
2-run blast. Off the end of the bat, here's a bloop single dropping in right field. Robertson around 3rd. The throw from Hogan is up the line at 3rd. An RBI single for Cole Freeman. It's now 4-0 Tigers. 3-1 delivery. Smacked in the air, left field. Coming over, Cortez won't get to it, over his head. Sails off the track into the wall. Jordan in to score. Papierski around 3rd. He's on his way home. And Watson hit with a sliding triple.
Probably unlikely. Back-to-back triples.
The 1-0 hit in the air, gap right center field.
That's a triple, boys.
This one's going down the track and into the wall. Robertson tearing up the turf around 2nd. It's now 9-0. Hit high and deep to center field. Hopkins giving chase. Hopkins going back.
Gone.
This ball is gone. 2nd home run of the day. Straight over the 405 sign in center. Give Greg Dykeman his 19th home run of the year and now make it 11-0 LSU.
Coach Paul Mainieri, LSU's victorious pitcher. Alex Lang is how we're starting the show. And for the first time in this tournament, we're going to have you guys out here to go through the highlight of your game with us. And that's how we're going to. How about it, right?
All right, let's turn it over to this guy.
Yeah, well, the highlight's very Lang heavy, Coach.
We can do it all.
As you can imagine. So here you go.
Who's that guy warming up?
Yeah, but you're not talking about Sean Jelly?
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah. That's what we like, a split screen. And then Kramer Robertson can't go anywhere without cameras flashing, so you know that's coming. So here you go. Kramer Robertson hits one to Tyler Marshall. Can't handle it. Gets under his glove. 2-runner score. It's a great start.
Well, he hit that ball hard. I think it was ruled an error, but Kramer hit that ball really hard, and he was being the leader that he has to be. Put a ball in play with a runner on 3rd against a tough pitcher.
Now, this top 3rd of your lineup just continues to hit. Antoine Duplantis singles to right. Robertson comes in to score, and You saw right there, Sean Jelly didn't necessarily have his best stuff.
Well, let me tell you something. That was Antoine doing his best Todd Walker imitation. I thought that was a great at-bat. He threw a couple breaking balls. We tried to hit and run once, and with 2 strikes, he got that base hit. But I thought the early part of the game, Dari, this was the story of the game. Zach Watson playing center field out there.
100%.
What's that do for you, Alex, when you're looking at turning around on balls that are well struck and you see him making plays?
Yeah, you know, it reminds me a lot of Andrew Stevenson. You know, you give up a fly ball to the outfield and it's an out, even if it's hit to the warning track. So I can remember numerous plays that he made that reminded me just of Andrew Stevenson. So it's awesome having him out there.
Well, here you are. You had everything working. Did you feel like everything was clicking? When did you feel like it could be your night?
You know, I felt good in the pen, but you can't take what happens in the pen to the mound, because I felt pretty good in the pen, and then go out there and I'm scratching my head in the 3rd inning like, what just happened? Yeah. So once you get through that 1st inning and you throw some breaking balls for a strike, command the heat a little bit, it helps.
How do you like a 10-run cushion?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to pitch in the league. You know, that's what we like. They got up on them early, and you know, offense has been doing what they've been doing all year, so it's great.
You had 1 on second here with 2 outs. You get the big strikeout here. Marcus Carson.
I tell you, Dari, that's a really good lineup Kentucky has. So Alex worked hard tonight. Yeah. They hit a few balls hard, but like Zach made great plays out there for us, and I just thought Alex would.
Done everything right for the last month.
Once you see the 31-3 number, pretty good bet that the rest of them are going to look pretty good as well.
Kramer Robertson dumps one into right field. Second hit of the day for LSU against Kevin Kopps.
Got to be able to extend the hitting zone. A slider off the plate. And look at my man, Kramer Robertson. Watch the back knee and watch the release of the top hand. And that's how you keep the bat moving forward. And that's how you hit tough pitches. I absolutely love it.
Little roller to third. Gates bobbles, and LSU in business. This is kind of the karma you see from this LSU program in the postseason when things start to get going.
And now Gates hurries because he knows the speed, and a poor transition as Freeman reaches out and chops that ball to third. A huge mistake from a normally reliable Arkansas defense.
He said, yeah, I've seen it, but I'm not Tim Tebow. Difference is they were both aiming for a national title. This one gets through the right side. Here comes Robertson. Cole's got a strong arm, and they throw the brakes on. Wow. Bases loaded for LSU for Greg Deichmann. They do, and it's ball 4. And LSU ties the game on a bases-loaded walk to Nick Coombs. Automatic berth to the winner of this one. But both in great position as at-larges. The 1-2. Pull to the right side and throw. Freeman has scored. Duplantis flying home. Cole's throw is there, but they held him. Nolan Cain has been very, very patient with the base runners over at third base. Talking to before the game today, he has incredible respect for Eric Cole's arm in right field.
As we see Smith gets a fastball middle away and rips it into right field. And look how far down the line Nolan Cain is. And I love the mechanics of that.
They've been to the Little League World Series. They've won a state championship in high school, an SEC title here. And Bowles sends one to right field. Eric Cole towards the line, looking to tag Duplantis. Foul territory, catch made. Here's the throw home. Duplantis is safe, and LSU adds to its lead.
Games in with a break in less than 6 hours.
This one's lifted to the gap in right center off the bat of Duplantis. Fletcher will cut it off and dropped it. Here he goes around second. Duplantis headed to third. Cain will stop him there. Extra bases for Antoine Duplantis.
And a bullet into the right center gap, and Fletcher just overruns the baseball. Doesn't pay attention to breaking down. And Duplantis can really run as soon as he sees Fletcher misplay this ball. It is off to the races. So much team speed on this LSU club. Love watching these young guys fly around the side.
2-2 pitch from Alberius. Lifted to center. Fletcher. Duplantis to tag. Fletcher throws home. Here he comes. It is up the line. The tag is not there. Runner breaks for second. Throw through, and Biggers has the tag at second base.
What a slide. Antoine Duplantis stealing a run with a nifty slide at home plate. Watch this slide right here. Get to the outside make yourself as small as possible. And he goes with the right hand and use the right arm as the tag hits him right in the face. I think he's in there.
I think he's safe. This is a reviewable play. Tony Walsh will go behind the plate and in the tunnel to watch this footage. Bottom of the 9th inning in a championship game, a 2-1 count for Luke Bonfield with LSU's closer Hunter Newman on the mound. To the left side, Kramer Robertson comes around to third for the force. It's a dandy dozen for LSU, their 12th SEC tournament title. There may be a few more dog piles for this LSU team before the summer is over.
That, our pitching was really good at one point, then our hitting was really good, and our defense was kind of there the whole time, but we had never really put it all together. I think the last 3 weeks we had really been playing really good baseball.
I really didn't even try and think about the last outing against them because regardless of what happened in a previous outing, they're a great hitting team. And I think anytime you go out, they can swing the bats well, and you got to pitch well every time. And, regardless of whether it's them or Florida, obviously we got to watch the game yesterday, which was nice. And I think they've been swinging it well all weekend. But regardless of who you're playing, you just got to go out and execute. And, you can't really think about the past too much.
That might be part of the reason why they asked that question earlier, why it means so much to us, because it means so much to our community and our fan base. LSU just has a tradition of winning, and we don't want to be that team to not carry on that tradition. So, we go out here every day trying to play for championships, winning, and we don't want to let those fans down.
That standing ovation when I came out is why you come to LSU. That's the fans that we have, and that's the fans that we love. It's in big numbers, but each one means something to us, and they really are special. They come out, every game, whether it's a midweek or the biggest series of the year, and it's a Tiger community that just thrives on baseball, and like Antoine said, we don't want to, let up the tradition. Just keep it going.
I was actually talking to Coach before the game. He's like, look at all these fans showing up, supporting. He's like, this is why it's the greatest place in college to play baseball. It's like, it means so much to them. And he's like, come on. He's like, let's go out there, fly around, and give it to them. And, I stepped in the box in my first at-bat, and the catcher, I say, what's up to him? And he goes, say, man, I didn't know this was going to be a home game for y'all. I was like, yeah, many places we go, it's pretty much a home game. This is exactly why, I come back as a senior just to come and play in front of these fans.
This was a thrilling game today. Arkansas has a tremendous ball club. I have the utmost respect for Dave Van Horn, his staff, and all their players. And, it was two teams really going after each other. It wasn't, neither team, I thought, played great, like that we've been playing the last couple of days. But I think some of that had to do with the outstanding pitching on both sides. But ultimately, in the end, we did enough to win, and we're going to take the victory and enjoy it.
12th SEC Tournament Championship, and one thing I noticed from those clips, the amount of purple and gold in the grandstand, at the ballpark,
best in the country,
in Hoover. That's got to be a tremendous asset to recruiting.
Oh, no doubt. Alec Box is one thing, the tradition, the history, the flux of players that get drafted into Major League Baseball, the fan support, you put it all together. There's not a better package with all, and the facilities. There's not a better place in America. No, there really isn't.
And I expect huge crowds at the regional this week. With Southeastern's going to bring their share. There'll be some fans from Hammond and Southeast. There's a lot of Southeastern.
I need some tickets. I need some tickets. I need to figure that out.
Get you the ticket office number. There's a lot.
No, I don't want the ticket. I want. Come on now.
There's a lot of former Southeastern athletes living in the Baton Rouge area. A lot of alumni live in the Baton Rouge area. Plus, folks from Hammond and Tangipahoa Parish going to make their way over here. Southeastern will bring a big crowd for Friday night. They'll outdraw Rice, although Rice is used to running down I-10.
Neither school
coming over here.
All four are close enough where it's drivable, and that's the key.
And Southeastern beat Rice 2 out of 3 in late February over in Houston. So they've played each other. They got the folders on who can do what and not do.
It would be of ginormous. It would be a ginormous upset if LSU has trouble in this regional at all.
I agree. No, I agree totally with that, with all due respect to the other teams that are there.
It's a different level.
That's just the way it is and the way it goes. And all of these teams are playing good. They wouldn't be in this tournament. Even Texas Southern, who's, like I said, one of 2 teams. The other one's Holy Cross, who have a losing record in this tournament. But they played better lately to win the SWAC tournament down there at Wesley Barrow Stadium in New Orleans.
Yeah. And LSU, 16 of their last 17 have been wins. And they've been pressure wins because they knew for them to get to where they needed to be, which is a national seed, which is always the goal, they had to come up with something, and the formula has worked. It's been amazing.
So if you got some tickets for Jordy, go to our Facebook page, hit me with a little message, and I'll get you connected. Needs 3 tickets.
I got 2 daughters.
For the weekend,
2 little girls
out there, and see if
just Friday. Just Friday at 2:30.
Just get Mr. Hulberg some tickets there. There you go. Hey, we're going to take a break, come back. We got a lot more for you on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
I hope that works.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar. I want to remind you about the radio station. CBS Sports Radio affiliate, WUBR, 9:10 a.m. on the old-fashioned radio dial.
Right there behind me. 9:10.
Available on the internet, the smartphones, the tablets. Get our app. Search for WUBR AM 910, Pelican Sports Radio, Pelican Broadcasting, and take us with you wherever you go. We're not leaving the TuneIn app, but we got our own app as well. As I mentioned, an affiliate of CBS Sports Radio. Local and national programming. The local lineup includes Jordy Hultberg, Mr. Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scandaliato, Carlos Brown. Through the night, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio, hosted by Mike Shepard. Select Houston Astros baseball games as well. Tell folks about WUBR. Again, great mixture of local and national stuff. Jordy, you have a radio program in the Lafayette area on the afternoons. Tell the good folks about it.
Every afternoon, Tommy, from 2 to 4, Monday through Friday on 103.7 FM. The Game, we got you covered from Lake Charles all the way down to the Lobdell exit right before the Mississippi River Bridge. That's 103.7 FM on your radio dial.
There you have it.
And they've got all that stuff like you've got, the TuneIn app, which I can't even fathom, so it's there.
All right, NBA Finals begin this week on Thursday night. Cleveland, Golden State. My first thing I want to say is Golden State's considered a heavy favorite in this series.
I don't know why.
But you got LeBron James on the other team.
I don't know why.
Huh?
The defending champs who made some deals to get better, and I think they are better. I think it's going to be a great series. I'm with you.
You know, I mean, two best basketball teams.
No
We've
doubt.
kind of known that for a while. They've been on a collision course, and that collision has occurred, and it'll be a best of 7. And it is a 2-2-1-1-1 format. I looked that up the other day.
Which is good.
It throws it in
Used
there.
to be 2-3-2, and that's not good.
Well, they changed it to 2-3-2 because in the 80s it was always Boston and L.A., and they got tired of going across the country, so they said, let's go 2-3-2.
That's true.
And then now, of course, world's different. They go 2-2-1-1-1. So first two games are at Golden State.
Right.
Then 2 in Cleveland. Then as needed, Golden State, Cleveland, Golden State. Golden State does have the home court advantage.
From Oracle Arena to the Q, and then back and forth, and we'll see what happens.
I just have a hard time saying that if I was going to wager on a game, I'd bet against LeBron James. But I think if I had to, maybe Golden State's the better team. You're better served to answer this. But they don't have a LeBron James, but they might have a better team, with all due respect to the other guys in Cavalier uniforms.
Much better defensive club. I look at it this way. If you take LeBron against the best player with Cleveland, with Golden State, you're going to take LeBron. If you take LeBron and Kyrie Irving against Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, who are you picking to win that battle? I'm picking LeBron and Kyrie. Then we go down the line. And I think depth-wise, I think Golden State just has too many weapons. I think it goes 6 minimum, and I like Golden State to win it.
6 minimum Golden State. I'll go with Golden State in 6, and to be different, I'll say there won't be a Game 7. But I know everybody wants a Game 7. That would be the ultimate, right?
You think ABC wants that?
Oh, yeah. You want it because you're going to be propped up in front of the TV.
Can't wait till Thursday
I'm going to catch some of it. You know, you're more of an NBA guy than I, but at this point, I'm going to make more of an effort to see some of these games, if not all of one or two of the games. But it should be a fun matchup.
I believe, just like San Antonio when they lost to Miami and LeBron and Ray Allen in that series, I think, and they used that to jettison them for the next year to win it all. I just think the way that Golden State lost it a year ago, I think with Kevin Durant added, I think with the situation with Steve Kerr, there's a lot of stuff working with Golden State, and I just see them getting it done.
I got some bad news for LeBron. In the last 6 years, when Alabama wins the national championship in football, he's won the NBA.
Well, they just
and
got
when they
beat,
haven't won, he has not won the NBA.
There you go.
So it's got to be Golden State. Blame it on Nick Saban.
That's right.
Hey, all right, we're going to take our final break of the program. We come back with a couple of LSU football nuggets for you. We'll throw that at you right after this pause. With Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Chrysant. You are watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Saban's fault. It's got to be.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-779-1032. 800-779-1032.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Evening, if you're catching us Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or you got a YouTube thing going, we appreciate you watching us when you can. As we get pushed towards the end, we mentioned the SEC meetings going on down in Destin, picking up a big TV money check. A few other things.
What do you think it's going to be? 30?
Big number.
32, 33?
Lots of things coming out of there, some with no substance. But, Jordy, you got an update.
I had a quote.
Ed Orgeron and the LSU football Tigers.
He told our buddy Scott Rabelais of the Baton Rouge Advocate, he said, when I used to go to the spring meetings, I'd say when I was at Ole Miss, I'd always look at Les Miles and say, what a job he has. If I could ever be the head coach at LSU. Well, 10 years later, he is. And he did say, the other quote that I found interesting, he said, here's the deal. Until you win the big game, nobody's going to be satisfied, and that's what's hanging over us. And, of course, we know what that big game is.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with your suggestion that the off week should be after Bama, not before. Obviously, that's not the case this year.
It looks like it's going to be on prime time again, according to CBS.
I saw that.
So it'll be at 7 o'clock in
CBS
Tuscaloosa.
has picked that day as a doubleheader day, and the SEC other matchups that week are not nearly as compelling as LSU and Alabama. We do know the opening game against BYU is an 8:30 kickoff, Louisiana time. So it's going to be a late one there with BYU over in Houston, and as usual, the Tiger fans will travel. Summer school starts Monday, June 5. A lot of LSU football players going to enroll in summer school, get a couple of hours, couple of classes out of the way, and then get acclimated to Baton Rouge and the campus and all that good stuff. And there's going to be some football stuff going on. And I tell you, before we know it, SEC Media Days will be here. Then LSU will be opening fall camp.
Never ends.
Time flies, but a lot of people certainly focusing on softball and baseball. We do want to mention the golf team. Sam Burns, they came in 9th in the NCAAs. He was a sophomore. He's going to forego his eligibility and turn pro. But a great run by Chuck Winstead, 9th place in the men's golf NCAA national tournament.
It only take 8 to go to advance for them. So they were 2 strikes out of that 8th and final spot, but Vanderbilt just destroying people.
Sam Burns, a guy you will see on TV on Sundays on the PGA Tour. But everybody's looking at softball in Oklahoma City, Thursday, 1:30 against UCLA. The baseball with the Baton Rouge Regional, but football. There's going to be some things when who came to school Monday, who didn't.
Is Arden Key there?
Is Arden Key there? Did Willie Allen transfer? Tyler Shelvin, we're not expecting that to be.
How's Ettling's back? Can he throw? What's going to happen with Tyler Shelvin? Is he getting the academic work in? Always question marks. And if you're in the news now when it comes to college football, it's never good news.
No, it's not. And
so stay out of the news.
Stay away from that building downtown during the summer as well, which, it happens across the country and whatnot. And people are already getting excited about college football, even though,
all those magazines are coming out.
That's the way too early polls and all conference. They say, I read on CBSSports.com, LSU's got the toughest schedule of all the SEC teams.
They play an extra SEC game on the road.
Yeah, that right in itself is enough to toughen it up. But,
Thanks, Florida.
Yeah, so how much is that going to get talked about in the next 2 years with the back-to-back trips to Gainesville, huh?
And for them to come down here and beat us like they did, and Leonard Fournette getting in the kind of the not a scuffle, but
there's never been a dull moment in that LSU Florida, the permanent opponent from the East series. You could go way back, right?
But it's gotten to another intensified level now, thanks to all of this. And
not going to go.
Fan bases are not very happy with one another.
No, that's going to be an interesting week.
I hear Florida may have that transfer from Notre Dame.
If they change that rule, they get him.
Yeah.
So. About
Malik Zaire, what's his name?
Quarterback.
Yeah.
He tore up LSU in the Music City Bowl, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
All right, again, hey, if you hadn't done it already, please like us on Facebook. The Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. Twitter account is @Pelican Sports. And, of course, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can get a lot of stuff and watch it at your convenience. Don't forget about all the radio stuff. Jordy's Radio in the afternoons in Lafayette. Lots of good stuff here on Tigers Roar. We appreciate the folks at ETEL and WHNO TV channel 20 in New Orleans also being a part of Spreading the Roar.
There you go. Alan and Marty and Jonathan and
Adam
and everybody behind the scenes getting it done. Thank you, guys.
And we want to thank Brian Lazar, Ronnie Rance for joining us through the course of today's program. On behalf of everyone at Pelican Broadcasting, it takes a lot of people to put this thing together. We thank you for watching. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Krysan. Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports TV. Talk to you again real soon.
So long.
Is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family.
I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.